Welcome to Sex Ed with DB. I'm your host, DB. Let's get into it. We talk a lot about sex ed, but when we're shopping for products to support our sexual wellness, exploration, and expression, we head to the experts at Lion's Den. For 50 plus years, Lion's Den has been a leader in pleasure products. Whether you want to explore a new kink or add a little romance to your evening, Lion's Den has something for all. Each location is brightly lit and staffed with the very best experts in pleasure, passion, and romance, so you can feel comfortable and confident in your purchases. Lion's Den is offering our listeners 15% off your purchase in-store and online using code SEXEDWITHDB at lionsden.com. Hey y'all, DB here, your favorite sex educator, pleasure expert, and rom-com critic. And today we wanted to share an episode from another amazing podcast in the world of wellness, Be Well Sis. It's hosted by my friend, Dr. Cassandra Dunbar, a medical doctor and professor who created the show as a sanctuary for evidence-based wellness, radical rest, and unfiltered sisterhood for Black women and women of color. In this episode, Dr. Cassandra is joined by Dr. Romie to discuss the impact of stress on the brain and body, and simple, holistic strategies to boost resilience, manage overwhelm, and set healthier boundaries. If you need a reminder to take a moment to shake off the stress, this is the podcast for you. Enjoy.
You know what's interesting as you're talking, I'm thinking about how I've talked to my friends like, yeah, I've been through that period too. I think it's because we're so used to us living in a culture that expects to live with chronic stress. So it's like, oh, this is normal, which is why there are so many like sleep aids, whether it's over the counter or prescribed. Like, all right, well, this is what we go through, especially as I'm approaching my 40s. Like, it's like, all right, well, this is normal, like, you know, perimenopause, all of those good things. But I'm happy that you mentioned like the vitamin D3 as well as the thyroid. I feel like we don't talk enough about that.
We don't. This is your wake-up call, my sisters, like the alarmist in me and why I am here. You will read my gut-wrenching story of not being able to get pregnant and having polycystic ovarian disease. And I, as a doctor, telling male colleagues, could it be thyroid? And they just checked the TSH, T3, and T4, about 3 out of the 8 labs that you need to check. And they were like, no, you're fine. And I'm like, but man, I've never had a regular period in my life. My hair is falling out in chunks at this time. I'm all stressed out. And it wasn't until I went to an integrative medicine doctor after I had surgery that they ran a full thyroid panel and found out that I have autoimmune disease. And it won't get picked up on those 3.
Yeah.
My sisters, if you have melanin in your skin,
Yeah.
we are more likely to have thyroid issues with the chronic stress, with the nutrition issues, and everything that is out there. Right now in the US, we know with Caucasian women, it's 1 in 8 women likely has a non-diagnosed thyroid issue, either overactive or underactive. And if you have melanin in your skin, it's about 1 in 4 of us. We have the lab slip on my website, busybraincure.com. We have it in the book. Download it and demand that your primary care doctor or OBGYN check all 8 labs. And if they want to know why, give them a copy of this book. Send them to the website because all the medical references are there. And it could save your life because I was 39 when I finally had a complete workup and an integrated medicine doctor. And they, you know, both gave me bioidentical hormones for my thyroid. So I needed medication for what I have. And we changed my nutrition and supplements. And I was 39 and had my first regular menstrual cycle. 40% of women who have thyroid disease, your only symptoms are ADHD and anxiety, mental health and brain health symptoms.
That is me. My goodness. Okay.
It's not hair falling out, acne, difficulty losing weight, hot flashes, and you're only in your 20s or 30s going, what's going on? That can all be a part of thyroid, and those things get caught. But again, most women, the only symptoms we have of a thyroid dysfunction is our brain. And we're told, you're just a tired working mom. Maybe you're not cut out for this job.
Yeah.
That's what society will tell us and fight back. The second problem we have in the United States and around the world is these kind of labs were typically previously gatekept by integrated functional medicine doctors, and you pay thousands of dollars for access. Nobody can afford that.
Right.
And so the lab slip that is designed in the book is covered by most US insurances because we ran this protocol on
Okay.
1,000 people. And if you're one of CAS's global listeners in Canada, in the EU, it is covered by your national health insurances. If you're in the United States and your primary care doctor won't, listen, on my website, we've partnered with Rupa Health, and just for like $300 or $400, you go to like a lab pull request and they draw the blood and a doctor will give you the results. And these are like $5,000 to $6,000 worth of labs. So we
Wow.
figured out the system, and I'm like, sis, please get it checked out.
Yeah.
So if your listeners are having these busy brain symptoms that you and I are talking about that I used to have, that you're currently going through, a full thyroid panel and vitamin D3. And they're like, oh, I'm good. I'm going to check out of the podcast now. I got it done. No, full thyroid panel.
Yeah.
There's 8 of them. And I guarantee you, unless you asked for it, the doctor did not check it.
Yeah, that's the truth. And I'll give you a little bit more of my business. So a couple of years ago, I was feeling some fullness, and I feel like I still can see the fullness in my thyroid area. So I went to my primary and she felt it. She's like, it does feel a little bit full. Let's go ahead and I'll do your TSH, T3, T4, right? Okay, fine. I did that. And I was slightly under. I think it was my actual thyroid hormones were a little bit below, but it was still within normal. And I had the ultrasound of my thyroid, and the thyroid was slightly enlarged, but nothing too alarming to her. But I'm like, I still don't feel right. This is when everything first started for me, which happened to coincide with COVID. So we're like, well, maybe it's just the way life is going now is very different. Like you're in the house with your kids, working from home. Like it's just everything changed. So maybe it's just, your anxiety and your depression and your weight gain is like really linked to like the social atmosphere that we're having. So then I went, maybe like the next year, I had my annual checkup with my OB-GYN, and I told her the same things. I'm just like, and now my period is a little bit off. Something is just not right. And she was like, all right, well, I can see that your primary ran those labs. You're more or less normal. So we're fine here. So I did not realize that there was like a more extensive panel.
Thank you for so candidly sharing your private medical
No,
information on this podcast.
Of course.
You and I having this discussion will save another sister's life.
Yeah.
In chapter 16, people will read Kelly's story. Kelly was just like you and I. She was a high-powered sales executive. Her doctor actually was like, you're just anxious. Either you pick your young children or work. She was an award-winning sales director about to leave before getting a promotion. And this brain shift thing was happening with their company. And she's like, fine, I'll sign up. I'm leaving in 3 weeks anyway. She went to get the labs just because it was a competition in their office of everybody finishing brain shift. And same thing, they did the full thyroid panel and found out that it was abnormal. They sent her for her scan and got diagnosed with stage 1 thyroid cancer. And it was removed before anything serious. And she's back at work and healthy. And so by you sharing what you're going through, and I don't want you to beat yourself up because I can just see your energy going, oh my God, Dr. Romie, why didn't I talk to you sooner? Please know, for those of us dealing with chronic thyroid, it is very rare that like within the first 12 months, these symptoms get diagnosed. Like from the time I had my first period, which was age 11 until 39, I was dealing with these symptoms, and a high functioning, young child that got into medical school, like, and all of that. So it's going to be okay. Trust that the universe made us have this conversation today because you are open to receiving. And full thyroid panel, ultrasound. Never let a doctor tell you, well, it's slightly normal or abnormal. We're not going to do anything, because you're having all the symptoms.
Yeah.
And you are right. I want to go backtrack because we all just went through the pandemic. So external life can happen, but our thyroid is there to support us emotionally, right? So that our moods can handle a depressing episode in our life, the stress of having children at home during a pandemic. But if our thyroid isn't functioning and healthy and we add chronic stress to it, it's kind of like I'm trying to draw from a gas tank that's 1/3 full, and we're going to go on a cross-country road trip.
Yeah.
It's not even going to get you to the interstate.
Right.
It's not even going to get you to the South Carolina border.
Yeah. It's funny that you can read me so well. I mean, my face always tells what's going on the inside. But I guess in a way, I'm just like, well, dang, when it comes to my children, if there's anything slightly not perfect with anything with them. I am in the books. I am looking at the research. Like, I need to know exactly what's going on. But when it comes to myself, and I think a lot of women, a lot of mothers, people who are very busy will put themselves kind of to the back burner and
We do.
make the focus who they're taking care of.
Yeah, I think that's normal caregiving and love, but that isn't love because that's the lesson we're teaching our children then.
True.
Our action that like my body, my mental health is not important. It's other people are more important.
Yep.
And we don't want that lesson with the global mental health crisis that's going on right now, especially in children, right? Number one. Number two, sometimes it's an avoidant behavior.
Ooh, yes.
It's like, I don't want to go get my repeat mammogram because what if it's bad news and I'm coming on a really busy season right now and I don't have time for a biopsy?
Yep.
And then all the fears come up of, this. And so the same thing, brain is really scary. But I'm here to say, my sisters, I dug deep for you. We did the research. 17,000 people took the busy brain test so I could understand what's happening in the brain.
Mm-hmm.
I had no life in COVID. I'm divorced and I was single in COVID. So my life and hobby became reading medical research to find a solution. Then we did the research, and in 8 weeks, we can get you on your way, including getting labs done.
Wow.
So it was like, I wasn't about to come here and blow open a wound of busy brain and not have a solution. I'm an action-oriented doctor. And I'm like, let's get it done.
Enjoyed this episode preview? Want to hear more from Dr. Cassandra? Follow Be Well Sis wherever you get your podcasts and check out the link in the show notes of this episode. Love y'all. Our creator, host, and executive producer is me, Danielle Bezalel, aka DB. Our producer is Sadie Leegee. Our communications lead is Catherine Cohen. Our marketing coordinator is Alex Bateman. Our music theme is by Hook Sounds. Thanks so much to our featured guests, partners, and listeners. If you have a rom-com you remember from growing up and want us to cover it on Rom-Com Bomb, submit it to us by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts and leaving a comment on Spotify. Want to partner with us? Email us at sexedwithdb@gmail.com. For more sex ed content, follow us on Instagram @sexedwithdbpodcast. See you next time.